Hi, friends, and welcome to lesson 2 of our writing week. Today we are going to be doing invitation to imitate. So, our focus phrase is I add details to my sentence. Your turn. I add details to my sentence. I'm so proud of the writers that you've become. I want to look at a part of a sentence that you might have seen from Kate Messner's book, The Great Brilliant Deep. Mr. Barrow kind of cut it in half a little bit, and then we're going to see it get bigger with some details. He watched. Think about that. He watched. So the author might be telling us what the subject's doing. There's a subject and a verb, but we might want some more detail, right? We could have who watched, what did they watch, where did they watch? Let's look at the sentence that Kate Messner gave us in her book. He watched TV shows about underwater explorer Jacques Cousteau. Oh, I like that name. So now I want you to look at the second sentence and thinking what the author, Kate Messner, did to this sentence. She added details, right? So she added what he watched and who he watched it about. All these different details makes your writing so much stronger. We're going to look at two more and then you're going to be writing your very own today. So let's look at our next sentence. Read it with me. They played. One more time. They played. Does it have a subject? Yes, they is the subject. And does it have a verb? Yes, played is the verb. So it's a full sentence. But what could we be doing to our sentence to help the reader visualize, to be able to see it in more detail? What could we add? We could add details. Very good, friends. Let's go over our details again. We can say who. We can say what, when, or where. Let's go over that again. We can say who. We can say what. We can say when. We can also say where. Very good. So I want you to think, how could you make this sentence with more details? Think about that for a second. They played. Well, where did they play? Oh, give me a sentence with where they played. They played at the beach. Very good. Mr. Barrow put, they played at the park. Mr. Barrow added more detail to our first sentence by saying where they played. Could you also add detail saying what they played? Yes, you could say they played hide and seek. You're giving the reader more visualization to see what the story's about. Very good. Can you take a second to write they played and then add more detail yourself? You could say where they played. You can even take Mr. Barrow's sentence right here and say they played at the park. I want you to pause the video so you can go ahead and write your first sentence. And let's look at one more together. Let's repeat our focus phrase. I add details to my sentences. Your turn. I add details to my sentences. Good job. Let's read our first sentence. She reads. Your turn. She reads. Is this the full sentence? Does it have a subject and a verb? Yes. The subject is she and the verb is reads. What is she doing? She's reading. I want you to go back to our focus phrase about adding details. How can you add details to this sentence here? Remember, we can talk about who, what, when, where. What could you do to this sentence to add more detail? We could say what she reads. She reads a book about Peppa Pig. We can say where she reads. She reads outside. Let's go ahead and look at what Mr. Barrow put. She reads the funny book about dogs. I want you to look at Mr. Barrow's second sentence and see the details she adds. She reads the funny book about dogs. If you notice, Mr. Barrow put an adjective in here. I didn't just say reads the book. I said the funny book. So the funny is describing the book she was reading. And then she added a little bit more detail. I didn't just say she reads the funny book. I said what the book's about. She reads the funny book about dogs. Now that you have more details, you're able to visualize and see the story more. I want you to pause the video and I want you to build your new sentence with details based off Mr. Barrow's first sentence. How can you add more detail to she reads? You can also use my second sentence or you can come up with your own. Be sure to take a picture, send it to your teacher so we can see all the hard work. Let's finish by saying our focus phrase one more time. Ready? I add details to my sentences. Your turn. I add details to my sentences. So I want you to start thinking about your sentences you say around the house. How can you add more detail to let the person know more about what you're thinking? Great job, writers. I'll see you next time. I'm so proud of you. Kiss your brain. Keep it up, friends. Bye.